if you think about the two badges, globally the GTI is a much larger badge,
Yes.
much more legendary badge, let's
Correct.
call it. In India, is it the same situation, or we are from a country where we've seen the Octavia RS over and over again, but the GTI is relatively speaking an unknown thing, so the RS is the big badge?
RS is the bigger badge. I don't think there's any two ways about it, because of the obvious reason. Because there's a history with it in the Indian market. We can't take what is it called? Appropriation, right?
Right.
Cultural appropriation. Like, there might be some people who've lived abroad and for whom the GTI badge has some meaning because they've lived in that environment where it is respected for a reason, because it has lived with them, right? We've not had the GTI live with us until now, right? Which is less than a year ago, whereas the RS has been with us for over 20 years now.
Right.
So there is, I mean, did I drive the RS when it was launched? No, I was not even doing this work then, right? 2004, I only got into this in 2005, 2006. So you looked at it as, wow, that yellow car with spoiler, turbo petrol, all of that jazz, right?
Yeah.
So those are the emotions that you build up over time, right? And today, this might seem a little bit unreasonable, this price that it's at. And it does sound very unreasonable because, okay, let's run through this, the price angle again, right? Just the context setting. We said the first one came in 2004, the RS, and it costs about 14 lakh rupees. Then we had the Laura RS, which came a few years later, I think 2007 or something like that. And that cost 21, 22 lakh rupees, something like that. So when we come to the next gen, which is the RS 230, that came at 24 lakh rupees for a car that now jumped to 230 horsepower, correct? Then we went to RS 245 a few years later, and that made 245 horsepower, so 15 horsepower increase, but the price went up to 30 something lakh rupees. 37 or something like that. Anyways, again, the point is that the prices went up significantly more than what the products were could justify, let's say, right? And now we've gone from 245 horsepower to 260 horsepower with a price tag that's 50 lakh rupees. There are lots of reasons that can explain this, saying that currency fluctuations, material costs, this and that. But the point is, if you think about that gap that we spoke about right at the first, to the Mercedes-Benz C-Class, which was a 10 lakh rupee gap, which represented a 50% difference between the two cars. Today, there is also a 10 lakh rupee gap, but at 50 lakh rupees.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So today, I have a friend who I've spoken to, no, that was earlier. So his name is Ankur Sabarwal. He owns the 230 RS.
Right.
Loves the car. Right? He's driven it 90,000 kilometers. And he booked this car. But then when he saw the prices, he cancelled it. For him, the marker was 55 lakhs on road. Okay, not 62 lakhs. So we were just talking about this before. We'd spoken about it before the launch, car was launched. And now when, before we were to have a chat, because I wanted to know which way had he decided.
Right.
So, and he was like, see, at 62 lakh rupees, if he has to make a step up, right, from the 230 to the 245, okay, yes, you're getting a better experience in terms of the cabin. You're getting a bit more performance from the car. It'll feel like a more sophisticated car. Agreed. All of that. But he's like saying that at this price point, I'm literally a stone's throw away from getting a BMW 330 Li.
Right.
Right? Which is rear-wheel drive, which is slightly quicker than this on paper. But the point is, it's a BMW. It's a richer experience.
Right.
We're talking about real-world prices where you walk into a showroom and say, I want to buy, and you see how the prices change, right? From what the listed prices are. And this is normal in luxury, right? You're saying I can step up to a BMW 330 or something like that, right? I can go there. So that gap might remain at 10 lakh rupees today.
Correct.
But effectively,
this
has crept up into the luxury space and it's too close.
Yep.
So this is a car that's going to be a great pick for people who want an RS. Because the people who could not get an RS earlier and have that dream of getting an RS, for them it will work. But anybody else who looks at it from a wider lens, and this is applicable even to the Octavia.
Right.
Right? It will also be applicable to the Octavia now, if it were to come as a CBU. you'd be looking at it and thinking that, does it really make sense anymore? Right?
Understood.
So that's the context of the RS. Why we went, it was also to understand what would happen, what could happen
Understood.
with Skoda. Because I think they are, it's a strange situation to be in, because you have your heroes, but your heroes don't really have a place to grow anymore.
Yeah.
Because they're capped now on the other end, right? By the other cars, the luxury cars that are there. At the lower end, you have your other India family, but they haven't really made a dent as of now.
So Kushaq RS is not happening.
I think they now need to, maybe, yeah, you're right, that they need to do something with that.
Kailak RS.
Kailak RS, okay, we revisit that, because they need heroes.
Yeah.
I think they need heroes.
Yeah.
In the conversation about the Octavia RS, we also spoke about CNG. CNG? Why? What's Skoda up to? Well, you can find out about that and where a CNG can be expected in the Skoda lineup on the MotorInc app, where the MotorInc First is playing about the Octavia RS. The app is free to download and free to sign up on.